everybody, and welcome back to Rugby Wrap-Up's Martial Law, the turning point in each Major League Rugby match with Iona Rugby legend, Mr. Colby Marshall. Colby, take it away, buddy.
Appreciate it, Matt. And let's skip the pleasantries and just get right into the action.
You got it. Go ahead.
Seattle versus Utah. You know, the second meeting between these two teams, Seattle came away with the road win in the first meeting. It looked like the Seawolves were going to run away with this one too, up by 13 with 20 minutes to play. But Utah caught a break late in the second half after their kick and chase down in Seattle territory, was rewarded with a penalty advantage. Utah then was able to score off of that advantage to cut the lead to 6, and that put them back in the game, a game that they won, Matt.
Yeah, what a frustrating loss for Seattle. If you're the Seattle fans up there at Starfire, and head coach, new head coach officially, Alan Clark, just got to be gutted. But they don't stop playing, that team, and they're going to surprise some people coming down the stretch. Next one.
San Diego versus Toronto. You know, a really good high-scoring game. Saw San Diego looking for their third straight win, facing off against the struggling Arrows. Down by 7 with around 10 minutes to play, Taylor Adams missed a long penalty kick that would have cut the deficit to 4.
Yeah, and another tough loss for the Arrows, the team that just keeps taking one for the team for Major League Rugby. Next.
Rugby ATL versus NOLA Gold. Two squads in the mix for Eastern Conference royalty really battled it out in a defensive game that this was. You know, arguably the best defensive play of the season was seen in this match in the 63rd minute when Mark O'Keefe makes a try-saving tackle on Kyle Rogers, who looks like he was going to dot down for a sure 5 points, Matt, but O'Keefe literally at the last moment before Rogers could touch down for the try, cradles him like a baby, pulls him back as if Rogers never even had a chance. I mean, that could have gave the Gold a 9-point lead, but it allowed ATL to stay in the game and eventually score the game-winning points of the match by way of a penalty kick. And shout out to Mark O'Keefe, the Nyack product. Bruce McLean coached him, was at Rooney for a little bit, got to know him for a little while. Shout out to him having a great season for ATL.
Yeah, and O'Keefe made that dramatic tackle that was reminiscent of a fellow Irishman, Brian O'Driscoll's defensive play. And fans, you could tell us which was more influential, that one or Brian O'Driscoll's. Next.
DC versus New England, you know, and what was almost the comeback of the season for Old Glory. The turning point for me in this game was when they were down by 4 points in the middle of a line break in the dying seconds of the game. Old Glory had them, a 3-on-2. Robertson has the ball. He's got his fullback and DeMonte Noble out wide to his right. All he has to do is play the ball, play the hands, but no, he cuts in and makes a play, tries to have a really difficult offload off to Tusi Tala that just doesn't work out. And that's what ended the game. Very disappointing ending to what was a great game and a great comeback. But that right there, man, Old Glory, tough one.
Yeah, Old Glory, again, a tough loss. They have some bodies coming back, which is going to make their next match more intriguing. And Andrew Douglas's side just doesn't quit. Kudos to Old Glory, but New England held on for that big win. Next.
Clearly, the turning point in this game was the yellow card that was dealt to one of Houston's players for an illegal strike in the body of an Austin player in a mall. The Gilgronis immediately tacked on 5 by way of first-year pro Cam Dotson. That proved to be the turning point in that match for me.
So Dotson dotting one down.
That is just awful.
On that note, Colby, any final thoughts before I let you go?
Utah, you squeaked away with a win, all right? But you still got to roster John Powers. You got to roster the kid.
You gotta have like a picket sign or something, you know, with his face on it. On that note, I want to thank Mr. Colby Marshall for this week's installment of Martial Law, the turning point in every Major League Rugby match. But we've got other segments that you should check out, ladies and gentlemen, including our Major League Rugby show, our Global Rugby Recap, What Are the Odds?, our Major League Rugby Sports Bet show with the Philly Godfather, John Bradshaw Layfield, the WWE legend, and Gifty Bailu, Martial Law, the Zack Attack, and please sign up for our American Red Cross Rugby Wrap-Up Blood Donor Team.